What's going on, everybody? It's Achilles LBT coming at you with a brand new video. And in today's video, despite what I wanted to do, despite my best intentions, my intentions being to try and take a little bit of a break away from showcasing Sonya and Artanis in particular, this game right here that I'm about to showcase went in a way that I didn't entirely see coming. Didn't entirely see coming. Just the way it went at all. And for one, it's worth noting that when I played this game, I was actually on the tail end of a very bad day as far as Heroes of the Storm goes. Just countless games in a row, be it Hero League or Quick Match, where my side was essentially playing well for the first half of games and like winning pretty convincingly, and then for whatever reason, everything would just kind of fall apart in the second half and we would just lose games. And I remember in this game in particular, I was actually like really upset when I played it, and that was why I queued up as Sonya, because I just really wanted to win a game. And I actually played this one like, I don't want to say angry, but that's like the closest I could think of. Like, I was extremely zoned in, and I was in a team speak at the time with like 3 of my buddies, and I couldn't, like, if you were to ask me what any of them were talking about during the time that I played this game, I wouldn't know what to tell you. So one quick thing before I start this game, I want to note, this is probably the best Lily I've ever played with to date. Just a lot of phenomenal, outstanding plays that were made. In typical fashion with games like this, I'm actually not going to showcase the scoreboard at all until the end, but I will flat out acknowledge that at this point, before I press play, that I would have died at least once if it wasn't for this Lily player that was actually on our team this game. So I just want to make sure I put that out there right now before I start this game, so that, you know, it's noted, you know, when you're watching this. So we're just going to go ahead and queue up. The friendly composition for this game was myself as Sonya. There was a Lily, a Vala, a Gazlo, and an Artanis. And we were going up against a Nazebo, a Raynor, a Karajim, Murky, and a Chen. So we actually had a pretty straightforward composition with two warriors, a healer, and a damage dealer, and a specialist. Even though I never really like go too crazy whenever that specialist happens to be Gazlo, because a lot more Gazlo really promotes a YOLO mindset for whatever reason with a lot of players that use him, whether they know how to use him or not. It promotes a lot of like solo laning and things of that nature rather than team fighting, and that always tends to backfire. So at this point in the game, I wasn't really surprised that I drew the solo assignment, and it's something that I've grown very comfortable with. Like, not even just when I'm using Sonya, but just in general whenever I'm playing the game. So it wasn't anything really that was that serious. And again, I want to point out that I had a very aggressive mindset. I wasn't talking at all when I played this game or anything like that. I was just really focused in. So I just go right at this Raynor. I really didn't care what he was doing or anything like that. I get him to queue up his automatic heal, which is exactly what I wanted. So I back off and take the fountain ahead of time. And I'm not worried about the Murky, because I'm pretty sure, I feel confident I can burst him down fairly easily. So you see we go in on the Raynor all over again, and we take him out with relative ease. And at this point, Murky really can't do anything to trade that kill, because my W ability is way too strong for him to try and like go shot for shot. And it's something that I was actually banking on as far as like how that first scenario went down. So yeah, that was something that I definitely felt like it was something that was in their minds like early on, that I could actually do that. And I didn't want to be a douchebag. That's why I typed in the chat, because these guys had nothing to do with why I was upset. So I never like really, I don't like taking things out on those people if they're not the reason like there's an issue. So at this point we decided to disengage a little bit, because there's really no reason to stay in the lane against these 2 heroes right here with the shrine being on the bottom. Granted, my health situation wasn't ideal, and I was aware of that. So we make our way to the mid lane. This was actually a very bad spot to try and engage on my part, but thankfully it wasn't something that like I paid for. Again, you see the Lily just come in and save me and bail me out of a bad situation I shouldn't have been in to begin with. You see that we recall right there. I let my teammates know that I'm gonna come right back, because I don't want them doing anything too crazy while I'm gone. And my teammates actually did an extremely good job of holding down that area. That was a nice shot by the Gazlo right there. You see, we're slowly trying to make our way back into the objective right now. And we finally do. And I noticed the weak targets over here. I tried to get that spear on Karazim, but of course the minion soaked the spear for him. I also wanted to get a kill on that Murky just to kind of get momentum going, but it wasn't something that I wasn't going to chase him down to you know, try to make happen. So here we start queuing up our wave clear here on this objective. Look how fast we as a team we burst down this chest. Really, like, something that really, I feel like it stands out if you're on the enemy team. If you see your health bar go down that fast, it's something that you become mindful of for the rest of the game. And again, worth noting that we got the objective here. I played extremely aggressive in this game. This is not a good spot for me to be in typically. And you see the Punisher actually bailed me out of a bad spot right here. Definitely not the best. Again, not good positioning on my part, but somehow I got away with it. So that's 2. If we're keeping count, that's twice I should have died already. And I was one time bailed out by the Punisher. The other time I was bailed out by the Lily. Just good fortunes on my side really with that. But again, I was like going full-blown aggro in this one. Like I was in a bad mood. I was just seeing red basically the entire game. Nope. With no reason left to stick around, I queue up the retreat for the team. And we just disengage, we back away, and start to head up to the top lane where I noticed the Vala. I thought I saw her going one-on-one, but there was no targets there at this point. So we just help her clear out the lane a little bit. Murky users, it's worth noting that Murky users that are familiar with Sonya, they know not to kind of hang around for too long, because stuff like that will happen. And I'm not so sure what the idea behind that egg placement was. Maybe the user wasn't really like fully versed with Murky. It's definitely not the ideal place to put down your eggs, like in any situation. So with Raynor not having any means to stun me, I have no problem using my whirlwind right there to kind of soak some XP. Did not want the Vala to kind of get that aggressive right there, but she was able to do so without really getting into serious trouble. So it ended up being all good. I think at this point both of us had a fountain on deck. Yes, we did. So we both heal up here. You see we have a 2-level advantage right now at this point. So we go right back to soaking XP. Put a little more damage on Raynor just to get him to back away. Disengage and get some more XP. There's no need to go all out for kills if playing patiently is going to get you that same result at some point. There's no need to go all out for it. Again, I mentioned it in past videos, but in my personal opinion, if you can get an enemy to disengage, that's just as good as getting a kill on them. So now we make our way back down to the fray here. Notice that the Zebo becomes the obvious target here because it's so weak. We weren't able to secure that kill. We do the same thing to Raynor, and again we weren't able to secure. See how we have no problem disengaging and getting back into the objective here? And we do the same thing to Karazim. Get in the back away and go right back to the objective. Helping out our teammates, putting damage on this Shin at a fairly good rate. And again we disengage. I don't want to stray too far from the objectives on the shrines in particular. Like the Punisher is everything. No matter how much they change up this map, it doesn't change the fact that the Punishers are everything. You see, we disengage again. Put that damage on Chen. Chen we were actually able to finish that time. There was like 4 or 5 targets that we came really close to killing right there, but we just could not finish it off. But that's not necessarily a bad thing because we're still getting the objective over the enemy team. You see, we put some more damage on Karazim and we disengage again. I never go too far from the objective because the objective is exactly where we need to be as a team. There's no need to ever stay, far away from that. And right there, I was content to let my teammates actually go after the kills there and let me do the wave clear. Karazim walked into a very, very bad spot right there, but then again, he didn't know I was standing right there. At the same time, I'm not so sure why he would entertain that, because at that point, from what it looked like we already had the Punisher, so there was no need for him to actually walk back in. Also worth mentioning that the Sonya Artanis combo is a very good one. I feel like they play very well off of each other, so that was something else we had going in our corner. We finally hit level 10 at this point, so we could actually put even more damage on the enemy team here. see we have no trouble taking out Chen there thanks to the Punisher being around. And at this point, there's no reason to stay around, so I queue up the retreat and we disengage the team. We have almost twice the amount of kills the enemy team as well. I decided to go back in because I noticed that the turret was so low on health, and it really wouldn't hurt to go back and finish it off. And then we disengage and move on to the camps. Again, the Lily player was very, very heads up on a lot of things that we were trying to do, so it actually helped out a lot. You definitely always want to make it a point after like objective-heavy maps like this. In between objectives, you want to make it a point to go for camps whenever you get those openings. There isn't necessarily like a need to go out hunting and team fighting like that whenever you're in the in-between. At this point though, I got there so late that the carriage game was already done. He was already ready to go, so it wasn't the end of the world to go chasing after him like that. And that's just something that I'm always trying to get some XP for the team. Any openings I can get with Sonya with the whirlwind, I'll go for it. I believe the shrine was actually about to activate here, or I noticed the situation developing at the top lane. So I make my way up and lock down Raynor. That's another kill for us. The Murky Egg again in an unfortunate location. And, you know, much to our luck, the next shrine happened to be in the top lane, so we didn't have to go very far to get to it. A lot of times you'll see me hit a spear on a minion like that just to make sure I have a full batch of fury going into the next big engagement. Nothing more, that's all it is. It's not like practice or anything like that, or trying to stay warm with the spears. It's just to get fury. You see at this point, like basically our entire team is up here, like right at the objective where it was supposed to be, and I'm focusing on wave clear. And then I shift my focus over to the friendly team because I noticed that the spears is developing. All of our ultimates going off one after the other, and the enemy team can do nothing about it. We just wipe out all but two. Very, very, very good coordination right there by the friendly team. They did take out our Lily, but as she pointed out, we ended up taking out damn near everybody as a trade-off. It was definitely a good look for us. For all the plays we're making, we actually weren't that far ahead on XP. That's something I didn't notice until just now. Thankfully, it wasn't something that was like really like killing us though. You notice we have a 10 kill advantage right now at this point in the game, and we haven't lost a single Punisher yet. So, I make my way forward just to kind of take a look here. Side effect of that was Raynor actually queued up his ultimate out of a panic, which is actually very lucky. So I pinged that we're going to the mid lane here because I think Artanis is actually the one that's in the position to make a play. From the looks of it, I think he actually was. So I don't know. I feel like this was actually a good call, like going down to support him rather than staying with Punisher. See, we queue up our Super Saiyan mode and put as much damage on the Chen as we can to get him out of that heroic. At this point, we almost died again because of that 7-sided strike was actually well placed. Artanis does a good job of using the laser to kind of peel that target away. And we make the move in for another kill. We did lose our healer again, so there's no need to stay there. You see, we both disengaged at that point. I decided to take a fountain and hang around. I did notice a Vala waiting up there in the cloud. At the same time, you don't want to get like too crazy here. Again, not too crazy. Not sure where I went from here. I actually don't recall this point in the game all that well. I didn't actually know Nazeebo was right there either. We did queue up our Super Saiyan mode though to try and put as much damage as we could. You see we forced the ice block on him. And at that point, pretty much a done deal that we know we're going to get that kill on him. Another good 7-sided strike landed on me. Thankfully my teammates were there to bail me out of that situation again. Anytime I see Mercy go for an aqua grab, I try my best to kind of focus him down so that, you know, not too much comes of it. So many targets there for me to heal off of, and like, there's no downside to using a whirlwind there. Like, the enemy team had nobody to stun me out of it either, so there's really, again, no downside to using it like that. I do ping for a retreat right there because the enemy the shrine was actually up. 3 targets down going into an objective like this is only a good thing, so definitely advantage us at this point. The enemy team does, like, it must have been frustrating for them in hindsight because they had 2 occasions now that I can remember where they actually weren't able to take out Lily, but it didn't actually amount to anything. The whole friendly team was actually able to escape, and in one case you saw we were actually able to pick up a lot of trade phase. So I make my way down here to try and stun the Debo out of that ultimate, which we actually pulled off. Put a lot of burst on Murky just to get him to back away. Did land another good wall on me, and I actually this is where I thought I was actually gonna get killed for sure. You see the Lily just come in, and the Vala as well. They just come in and bail me out of a bad spot. And the friendly team was able to finish that objective without me as well. So that was just a really, really, really good string of events. Sony's probably the only hero in the game that I actually don't think, like, it's bad if you go after a tank, if you go in on tanks. I feel like you can burst down anything. And really, more often than not, you can. Well, we do follow up on our teammates here to try and help out our Punisher. Just really everything going our way at this point. You see we have 24 kills at this point, and the enemy team only has 8. A lot of good teamwork going on our side. Tannis was actually able to isolate the Karajin very well right there. Vala landed a very good stun on Murky. Our burst damage is so high right now that there's really there's nothing like any one person can do on the enemy team to kind of deal with my burst, especially if I have Lily right there to support me. See, 2 of us actually went to help Gazloke at that camp, and we did lose a teammate right there, which is very unfortunate. Thankfully, it wasn't anything that kind of killed the momentum for us, thankfully. So I start queuing up for us to go to that camp because there's no need to hang around. You never want to hang out in enemy territory. No matter how good you're doing, no matter how much momentum you have, you never want to just hang out in enemy territory without a clear-cut objective. It's always going to lead to a bad result. So you see we pick up the camp here, and now we're starting to ping up every single camp on our side because this is the absolute right way to go at this point. And again, the Lily user was very, very cognizant of that, so makes your life a lot easier when you have other players that are thinking the same thing as you, obviously.
A shrine gathers power.
And again, fortunate timing, fortunate placement. The shrine happened to be right there where we were standing anyway. Raynor prematurely used his ultimate. They do pick up a kill off of it. This is probably like the play of the game, like for me personally, because we pretty much lose everybody right here. I jump right into the fray. Vala lands a very good heroic right there on the entire team. You take out Murky, Vala goes down, so essentially this is just me and Lily against the entire team. See, we take out Raynor right there. I was just seeing red at this point. I didn't really care. I back away briefly, just to give Lily a moment to get that healing fountain, because we know we're still mindful that we're not going to get much sun with her. Murky does he does land that aqua grab on Lily right there. See how much damage we're putting on everybody right there. Because I have my Super Saiyan mode queued up. We can take out Karajin again. Kind of missed that spear. I believe I was actually trying to hit Murky. I don't think I was trying to escape right there. We do get another healing fountain out of that and make our way back into the fray. Lily wisely waits for me to go first. Put a nice bit of burst on that Nagivo. You see, we still have Rapid Berserker on at this point. Our burst is so insane that we're able to take out Chen. Our Tannis actually spawns up and uses his laser, because the laser has global range, and we take out everybody. So yeah, just to recap what just happened, that was essentially a 2-on-5 with me and Lily taking on the whole team with a late game assist from Artanis right there, just to finish off the entire thing and almost steal that, almost stole that Punisher. I was actually surprised. I remember I was actually surprised that we lost that Punisher after we ran through the entire team like that. But as you notice, Raynor again uses his ultimate in a very bad spot. Artanis isolates him again, and that basically leaves the Punisher with nobody to offset anything. So Punisher becomes an easy kill for us as a team. We're all just focusing him down together as a unit. By the time he makes it to a fortification, he's got no help. So yeah, we lost. We lost that objective, but it didn't hurt us at all, thankfully. Now we go right back to the same drill. In between game, you want to go for camps, whatever camps are available, and you want to do so as a team. You definitely, late game, I can't tell you how many times I've lost games because late game people start splitting up and doing their own thing. It should just be like, I feel like it should be a part of a loading screen or something. Like late game, like you should stay permanently grouped up. There's just no downside to staying grouped up in the late game, really, that I can think of at least. Again, same old drill. We got one camp, got them to back off, we got them back off, and we go for another camp. Artanis was actually in a very ballsy spot right there. I didn't notice he did that. He actually baited the Zebo into his own zombie wall. That's pretty good. Now all the ultimates are going off. You see everything going our way at this point. That would have been a very good stun for Vala to land if she did. Artanis with another good isolation play right there. It goes a long way if you have a good Artanis user. And I didn't actually notice how good this guy was playing. Like, I gave a lot of credit to the Lily in the beginning of the game. But this is actually a very, very good Artanis as well. Like, he's hit some very, very good, like, phase shifts. And, it's impressive to watch. It's very impressive to watch. If anything, this is serving as a glimpse of what you know potentially be working with if you have Sonya and Artanis in the same exact composition. Works very well. They play very well off of each other. So at this point, we're just trying to soak some XP going into that next shrine because why not? And we make our way over to the objective. See, we're just here in full strength. The enemy team is just coming out of their base. The only one we don't have here is Vala, and she's dealing with a Murky, so that's not so bad. We already have 25 Guardians here. Like, there's just nothing the enemy team can do at this point. Like, they're not even trying to get up here. It's so late for you to contest. These are late game Punishers too. 20 minutes into this game, the late game Punisher is no joke. You see we have 35, damn near 36 kills as a team, to the enemy team's 13. Raynor again with a premature ultimate. This is really like nothing you can get out of that. Vala actually put a very, very good string of damage on everybody right there. Thankfully the Murky wasn't able to do much with that Octo Grab. This is essentially just showing you like the problem with going in one by one. The enemy team is doing. You saw Murky go in first by himself, got nowhere. And you saw Karajin go in one by himself, got nowhere. We're able to pick up that Zebo right there. See, I'm just seeing red at this point. I'm just trying to get kills. Been able to do it, so I back away and start to slap at score. Definitely want to win the game more than anything. You see, we make our way back up here to try and secure another kill. That's when we do exactly that, and the game is over. So, in hindsight, what did I feel after this game? For one, I was kind of upset that it was I was a little like, upset. This happens a lot where I play with groups like this who clearly know what they're doing. From top to bottom, you have smart players making smart plays, and for some reason, I just can't figure out why I could find groups like this every now and then on Quick Match but it never seems to be the case on Hero League where people that play like this belong essentially. So it becomes a little source of frustration. This game in particular, though, went very, very well. Again, I should have died like 2 or 3 times, but I had very, very good support from my teammates. Bad decisions made on my end that could have went bad if I had lesser teammates, but unfortunately for me in this game, I didn't have lesser teammates, and as a result, we'll bring up the scoreboard. We ended up going for 17 kills. We didn't die at all in this game. 16 assists, 142,000 siege damage, and 102,000 hero damage. There was absolutely nobody else, aside from maybe Raynor, that was anywhere near close on the hero damage front. Which is why, you know, after thinking about like where Sonya is at this point in the game, with all the changes they've made. If you recall my Sonya Artanis video, or my original Sonya Artanis video, where I was talking about ways they could improve her, and talking about what I thought Artanis was going to be at the time. Again, I'll be on record as to say that he's exactly what I thought he was going to be, even if nobody else sees it. If you recall that video, I mentioned that one thing they could do to kind of help her out a little bit was to put her at a clean 1,000 for starting health. Give her 1,000 health points at the start of a game. And with these recent changes that with the kill death and assists implemented, along with the early game scaling, now Sonya starts off at twice that amount that I asked for. She starts off at 2,400 health. So it's twice the amount that I was asking for. And I don't know like what's going on behind the scenes or anything like that, but it almost feels like with the changes they made, they have like really enhanced her in a way that it's hard to deal with. If you play against somebody who knows how to use her, it is very hard to deal with. Like they said that they essentially said with Cho'Gao that you should never look to go one-on-one with him. If you see him in a lane and you're by yourself, to never engage. I would say that the same goes with Sonya. If you're playing against a Sonya user that knows what they're doing, they know how to build her in their own way, and they know how to use her in their own way, but effectively, you should not be trying to go one-on-one because it will not go your way. And that's the whole idea behind the title, because I feel like at this point in the game right now, as of this recording, I can't really think of another hero that can do the things that she can do, damage-wise. Like, I feel like she, like, even if people don't see it yet, this is just one opinion, this is just my opinion, I feel like she's the best damage dealer in the game now. And, I think there's a lot of material out there. Like if you can look for it, there's a lot of legs behind that statement to kind of support that, and it's just something that I feel strongly about. And like when I had this game and I saw what I did, because I didn't check my stats at all, like what I was actually playing. Again, I was just seeing red the entire time. I was playing pissed off. I was just going out there trying to go at everybody, and this ended up being the end result. We just completely steamrolled the enemy team. I was getting kills. You see nobody else on the friendly team. Nobody else in the game had double-digit kills, and that just I never typically. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have games like this a lot because I definitely don't. But with Sonya, these are the kind of games that I expect to have. So it was nice to actually see at the end of the day. Like I felt like I was destroying out there, and I didn't check my stats until the end of the game. And when I saw this, I was like, I just kind of I paused for a moment, and again, I just don't. I can't think of anybody else, range or melee. Like I think Sonya brings more to the table on the damage front than Zeratul. I feel like Zera's the guy that people would bring up if they watch this video. They're like, no, Zera is still like the undisputed king of damage in the game and whatnot. And there's definitely a lot of legs behind that too. Like saying Zeratul is one of the strongest heroes in the game is never a stupid statement because it's obvious. If you play the game, it's brutally it's so obvious that he is. But even I feel like if you know what you're doing, even Zeratul can't hold the candle to what Sonya can do if you spec her the right way and if you use her the right way. I just don't see it. I honestly don't. And she has a higher health pool than most assassins because she just off the strength that she's listed as a warrior, she kind of has that in her corner. Not by much, I'll say. Definitely not by much, but she definitely has that in her corner. And again, she has the upside of the fact that if you spec her into it, basically every time you touch an opponent, you're getting some form of health back. So She has crazy sustain built into her if you know how to play patiently, if you know when to get engaged, if you know when to disengage, more importantly. There's a lot of things you can do with it. Again, I did not play a flawless game in this one, despite having a flawless outcome. It was not a flawless game played on my part. I should have died like 3 or 4 times, and honestly, if I would have died those 3 or 4 times, my hero damage wouldn't have been anywhere near as high as it was because you can't get output if you're dead. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This is just one guy speaking on his opinion, one hardcore fan of this hero speaking his mind on something. After having an output like this, I just don't see anybody else in the game that can put out the damage the same exact way that she can. And this is somebody that's been really, really hyping up Artanis as of late on this front. I don't even think that he can do what Sonya does. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. I feel like this is a good video for people who initially subscribe to the channel just for Sonya videos. This will be a good one for them. I appreciate the support as always. At this point, we're actually over 100 subs. I did want to put together a video kind of thanking the people so far who have subscribed to the channel because I do think it's a big deal. Even if nobody else does, I don't care. I appreciate stuff like that. So as always, this is Achilles LBT. That's Achilles with a Z. Remember it.